everybody. Happy New Year. We're starting 2021. It's so exciting. And that means our first entry for 2021 of the Movie Nerds Club. We were trying to think of what to do for the topic this month. I said, kind of as a joke, that because 2020 was such a disaster, why don't we do our favorite disaster movies? And it was very, a big hit, very funny. But and it was a funny joke, I thought. But then everybody said, okay, let's do that. So it was a funny joke. But then once we decided to actually do it, I was like, oh, great, because I don't really like disaster movies. Why did I suggest this? So it was a little bit hard for me to come up with five that I liked. I'm not a fan of movies like 2012 or Michael Bay type movies, Roland Emmerich. That's just not for me. So I was like, what am I gonna pick? So I admit that some of my picks are a little bit of a stretch. They're not like maybe what you think of when you think of disaster movies, but it's my list. So what are you going to do? So at number 5, I have Twister. And I think this is pretty fun. The spectacle of it holds up pretty well. I saw it a few years ago and I thought it was still a fun movie. The spectacle of it, there's definitely some really cheesy moments, but I think it's actually kind of better for those cheesy moments because it really leans into it. And I think it overall has a really good cast with Bill Paxton, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Helen Hunt. And so overall, I think it's entertaining. Again, super cheesy, super ridiculous, but I think it knows what it is and it has a good time being what it is. So at number 5, I have Twister. Number 4, totally kind of opposite in feel, this is very serious, is The Impossible. So this movie stars Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watts, and it's our introduction to Tom Holland, so we can all be grateful for that. And it is about this family that gets caught in this tsunami and how they're able to find each other and survive this horrible tsunami. And I think it's really good. I think performances are good. I think the special effects are really good, and it is definitely very it's definitely a very stirring film that you won't forget. And so I had to put it at number 4. Okay, so then number 3, I have Take Shelter. And this is a really interesting one. It's director and writer Jeff Nichols, who I really love him and his writing and his movies. And it stars Michael Shannon and Jessica Chastain. And he basically plays this man who keeps having these dreams about this apocalyptic storm that's coming. And the way they do it in the movie, you're never really sure what is real and what is his imagination. You see the storms, you see the fallout, and he keeps getting more and more paranoid. And what is his delusions? What is real? I think it's really good. I think Jessica Chastain is really good. Michael Shannon's really good, and I think it's a beautifully looking movie. So it had to be my number 3. My number 2 is a movie that I didn't really think of as a disaster movie at first, but then once I really thought about it, I'm like, oh yeah, it is Titanic is my number 2. And it's this disaster movie of this ship, of course, and it's a historical based on a true story, of course. Kate Winslet, Leonardo DiCaprio, and I think especially this movie is the strongest when they post iceberg. I mean, it's very, very, very soapy, and I don't mind that. I think that's fun, but I think once it hits that iceberg, it's just go, go, go. And it's very compelling. Lots of great side characters. Kathy Bates is really fun in it. And I think that the spectacle of it really holds up to this day. And when it first came out, I was in high school and it was so hyped. And I just kind of would roll my eyes whenever we were talking about Titanic. I had a friend who saw it 18 times, and that's a really long movie to see 18 times, but it was a huge, huge deal. And I can't even think of anything recently that was so big in that way that Titanic quite was, at least. And so at first I was just kind of like, oh, this movie is no good. But I have to say, since I watched it fairly recently, I came to realize that it actually is pretty good, and that especially as it just goes from one, things just keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and it builds momentum very well. In that last hour, I think is very well done, and I mean, it just looks incredible, and it has really good performances. And so I got to give Titanic my number two spot. My number one spot is definitely one that probably a lot of people won't think of as a disaster movie, but it is what is my favorite movie that I talk about all the time, and it's Your Name is my favorite disaster movie, because it's all about this comet that's coming and is going to destroy this town, and how are they going to save the town, and the body swapping of the two lead characters is crucial to actually the town being saved, and all the momentum is building towards the end. When are they going to be able to get everybody to the shelter, and are they going to, if is her dad going to listen to them, are they going to be able to save the town, how are they going to do it? It's so good, absolutely love it. So, and there's just the animation is so beautiful, and with the comments and the imagery and everything. So it, once I realized, I'm like, oh yeah, that counts. Yes, that is what I was going to do. So let me know what you think. Do you think I'm crazy for considering that a disaster movie? Let me know in the comment section or on Twitter. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And thanks so much. And we're looking forward to another year of Movie Nerds Club. If you have any ideas for topics that you'd like to us to do, then make sure to let us know. Be sure to check out the videos of my friends in Movie Nerds Club, what they will have. I think it's going to be really interesting. There's going to be a lot of different opinions on this video, so make sure to check out their videos. It's really fun. And happy new year. Thank you so much. And check out my Patreon, check out my merch store. I would be so grateful. And please like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much, everybody. Bye.